Welcome to another video from your Smart Brain channel, and this time, I'm going to teach you how to solve these types of percentages mentally. Mentally, many people know how to calculate 25% of a number or 50% a number because that's very easy. 50% a number is half of that number, obviously, and 25% a number is a quarter of that number. But here we have something different. Look, 16% and 48% are slightly inaccurate percentages. And that's the difficulty for the student. If you want to solve these exercises, I recommend that you pause the video right now, try to solve them mentally, and write your answers in the comments to see how many people got these exercises right, or how many got them wrong. Okay, the rule I'm going to teach you is something that you may not know. It's something that perhaps you weren't taught, but look, the rule of the game is the following, that 16% of 25 is the same thing as 25% of 16. You knew that or not, they taught you that or not. Down here, look, 48% of 50 is the same thing as 50% of 48. So it means that 17% of 50 is the same thing as 50% of 17, exactly the same. This can be interchangeable. So look, saying 16% of 25 is the same thing as saying 25% of 16. And as I was saying, 25% is a quarter of a number, then 25% of 16 will be a quarter of 16, which will be 4. A quarter of 16 is 4. You already know that. Now the next exercise, 48% of 50, by the rule I just taught you, is the same thing as 50% of 48, and 50% of 48 is half of 48. And half of 48, how much is 24? So look how easy. I can say 16% of 25 for quickly mentally, 48% of 50, 24 mentally. What did you think? Very interesting, right? Remember that it is important that you subscribe to the channel, because that way you help me continue making more and more videos so that you open your mind and learn the rules of the game. Welcome to another video from your Smart Brain channel, and this time we have to do this calculation. Look at 0.5 multiplied by a half, and the alternatives are the following: 0.10, 0.20, 0.25, and 10. What is the answer? I recommend that you pause the video now, try to do the exercise, and write your answer in the comments after the video. I see all the comments. Let's now solve this exercise. Look, we have a multiplication, and here we have a decimal number, and here we have a fraction. We have two possibilities. Either we convert everything to decimal, and we do a multiplication of decimals, or we convert that decimal into a fraction, and we do the multiplication of fractions. You can do that as you want, but we're going to opt here for the second way. This 0.5 is the same thing as saying half 1 over 2. 1 over 2 is 0.5 multiplied by a half. And now we have to remember the multiplication of fractions. When I multiply two fractions, I multiply the numerators and then the denominators. So we would have here 1 by 1 is 1, 2 by 2 is 4. The answer would be a quarter, but we don't have it here in fraction expression. We have it in decimal expression, but a quarter is the same thing as 0.25. 0.25 a quarter is 0.25. That's why the answer will be the letter C. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and like the video, and remember to leave your answer in the comments. That's all, and see you in the next video. Bye. We have another video here on your Smart Brain channel. Watch the following exercise. You are asked to calculate half of 4 to the 4th power, 4 to the 4th power, and we have the alternatives: 2 to the 7th, 2 to the 8th, 2 to the 16th, and 2 to the 4th power. What would your answer be at this point? You should pause the video, try the exercise, and write your answer in the comments. Okay, well, how can we do this exercise? Very easy. But first I'm going to tell you what the longest path would be. The path that is not the right one. The longest path would be to perform this power, that is, do 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, and then do each of these calculations which appear in the alternatives, but that would be the longest path. And when you solve exercises, the time factor is of vital importance. You can't waste time. Okay, let's see some very interesting techniques to be able to solve the exercise. The first thing you have to notice is that, according to the alternatives, it's all in base 2. Look, 2 raised to a power, here 2. That is, it means that I have to transform this answer into base 2. And how do we achieve this? I know that 2 squared is 4. So observe, pay close attention to what I'm going to do. Instead of writing 4 raised to the power 4, I'm going to write, instead of 4 2 squared, raised to the 4th power, 2 squared is 4 raised to the 4th power is exactly the same thing. But there's a rule that says that when I have the power of power, these two numbers multiply. That is, this is the same thing as 2 raised to the power 8 by 4 8. Very well. Now the exercise tells me that I need to calculate half of that. From here, how much is half of 2 raised to the power 8? Very easy. Half is the number divided by 2. So, to know half of 2 raised to the 8th power, I have to divide it by 2. There I have half. Here it says 2 raised to the 8th power divided by 2, or in other words, half of 2 raised to the 8th power. But when I have the division with the same base, the exponents are subtracted. Here I have an exponent, and here I have the exponent, one that is understood. So that will be 2 raised to the power 8, 181 and 817. That is why the answer will be 2 raised to the power 7. 2 raised to the 7th power. Answer the letter A. What did you find very easy? No? Then I invite you to subscribe to the channel, and thus you motivate me to continue making this type of videos daily.